Welcome to Tales of Honor, a podcast with a mission to tell the true stories of every recipient of our nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Tales of Honor podcast. This is June 30th. It's Wednesday. It is the last day of the month of June, which means also that is going to bring a close to our little segment of World War I recipients today. So the next episode will be a new conflict, which I did decide, took control, as I mentioned, at the beginning of May, that I'm going to control this podcast as a form of, as a dictator here, and I'll give you occasional say once in a while, but at the end of the day, it's my show and I do what I want. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. But I did say World War I, World War II, and Vietnam War. I think I decided the order after I said that was going to be World War I, Vietnam War, then World War II. Kind of gives a breakup in the European theater there a little bit. And, too much World War at once, that can just be overbearing. So we need to break it up with another conflict is how I feel about this. So next episode, which will be July 4th, I think it'll be one of the most patriotic episodes ever. I have not looked into who the recipient's going to be yet. So, man, I hope it doesn't disappoint. I hope it's going to be a good one. All right, no birthdays. I think the next birthday is actually going to be July 3rd. So I will have that on the next episode. I do have one little note to add on here. I did receive an email recently regarding a photo for a previous episode for John Cooper, a double Medal of Honor recipient, and I actually had the wrong photo. And so I have since corrected that. There is no known photo for John Cooper. I had it mixed up with, let's see here, with a photo of Frank Baldwin, another double recipient as well. So it was an older photo, a more aged photo, so there was a little bit of a confusion there. So I made that mistake. I've since corrected it on the website. A very big thank you goes to Mike Serpa, who reached out to me. He is actually a photo researcher who's he's worked with the Library of Congress and the National Archives, and he's actually working with the Medal of Honor Museum currently for photos for their website. So he reached out to me, and a very big thank you goes out to Mike. I actually mentioned to him this morning that I wouldn't mind having him on the podcast to chat about his work in this project right now. So maybe we'll make that happen. We'll see. If not, we're going to move right along into today's Tale of Honor, and I'm actually pretty happy with how I wrote this one. So I don't say that too often. I'm proud of everything, but I kind of like this one. So that's going to be it for my blabbering on here. Let's move right on into episode number 424. Freddie was born on the 12th of January, 1896 in Sandy Springs, South Carolina, and before being drafted into the U.S. Army, he was working as a farmhand and was married to Pearl, with whom he had one daughter named Minnie Lee. In 1917, he was assigned to a division that would arrive in France as part of the American Expeditionary Force to reinforce the 157th French Army's Red Hand Division. It was his actions on a heavily defended hill in the Ardennes that would earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, Corporal Freddie Stowers distinguished himself by exceptional heroism on 28 September 1918 while serving as a squad leader in Company C, 371st Infantry Regiment, 93rd Infantry Division. His company was the lead company during the attack on Hill 188, Champagne-Marne sector, France, during World War I. A few minutes after the attack began, the enemies ceased firing and began climbing up onto the parapets of the trenches, holding up their arms as if wishing to surrender. The enemy's actions caused the American forces to cease fire and to come out into the open. As the companies started forward, and when within about 100 meters of the trench line, the enemy jumped back into their trenches and greeted Corporal Stowers' company with interlocking bands of machine gun fire and mortar fire, causing well over 50% casualties. Faced with incredible enemy resistance, Corporal Stowers took charge, setting a courageous example of personal bravery and leadership that he inspired his men to follow him in the attack. With extraordinary heroism and complete disregard of personal danger under devastating fire, he crawled forward, leading his squad toward an enemy machine gun nest, which was causing heavy casualties to his company. After fierce fighting, the machine gun position was destroyed and the enemy soldiers were killed. Displaying great courage and intrepidity, Corporal Stowers continued to press the attack against a determined enemy. While crawling forward and urging his men to continue the attack on a second trench line, he was gravely wounded by machine gun fire. Although Corporal Stowers was mortally wounded, he pressed forward, urging on the members of his squad until he died. Inspired by the heroism and display of bravery of Corporal Stowers, his company continued the attack against incredible odds, contributing to the capture of Hill 188 and causing heavy enemy casualties. Corporal Stowers' conspicuous gallantry, extraordinary heroism, and supreme devotion to his men were well above and beyond the call of duty, follow the finest traditions of military service, and reflect the utmost credit on him and the United States Army. Not long after his actions, Freddie was recommended for the Medal of Honor, but like so many others, instead received the Distinguished Service Cross. The official reason stated is that his recommendation was misplaced, and it is important to note that around this time, the requirements for the Medal of Honor were becoming more strict. The view was that it was being awarded too frequently, and the examples of the 19 double recipients gave merit to this perception. Many decades later, Freddie was compared to Medal of Honor recipient Alvin York, since they were both Southern farmhands that were drafted into the Army, were poor, and could barely read. They both displayed inspirational actions on the Western Front, but Alvin survived the war, and Freddie did not. Freddie was also black, the grandson of a slave, and was serving in the segregated 371st Infantry Regiment, 93rd Infantry Division, colored. Fast forward 72 years to when Congress pressed the Department of the Army to review minority Distinguished Service Cross recipients, and Freddie's story was then investigated. The Army Decorations Board went on to approve the upgrade to the Medal of Honor, and on the 24th of April, 1991, President Bush presented Freddie's Medal of Honor to his surviving two sisters, Georgina and Mary, in a ceremony at the White House. This made Freddie the first and only black Medal of Honor recipient for World War I at the time, and he was later joined by Henry Johnson in 2015. This review led to a similar one for World War II recommendations, which resulted in more upgrades and found a definite bias on the part of the Decorations Board. Freddie Stowers was 22 years old when he died, and his name is now honored on an elementary school in Fort Benning and on the Single Soldier Billeting Complex in Fort Jackson. He is buried in the Meuse-Argonne American Cemetery and Memorial in France, Plot F, Row 36, Grave 40. And that was a tale of honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor, and if you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family. Tales of Honor is written and produced by Christoph Ambrosch, and theme music is Loyalty and Duty by Floruz Music. If you have any questions, you can send an email to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com, and please be sure to visit talesofhonorpodcast.com for more episodes and information.